Imagine having the strength to crush monsters, topple kings, and terrify even the gods, then waking up to a silence so heavy it crushes you from the inside. The house is still, the battle noise in your head is gone, and standing before you is not an enemy, not a beast, not a rival hero, but the lifeless bodies of your own wife and children. This is not the story of a villain. This is not the rise of a monster born in darkness. This is the true story of Heracles, the greatest hero Greece ever knew, and the most tragic warning mythology ever gave. Because long before he became a god, Heracles became something far more frightening, a hero who lost control of his own power. Heracles was never meant to live a normal life. From the moment he was born, his fate was already sealed by the choices of the gods. He was the son of Zeus, king of Olympus, born from betrayal and divine arrogance, and for that, he was hated before he could even speak. Hera, queen of the gods, did not see Heracles as a child. She saw him as an insult, as a living reminder of Zeus's unfaithfulness. So while the world saw a hero rising, Hera saw a weapon that needed to be broken. Even as a baby, Heracles strangled serpents sent to kill him, proving that something unnatural lived inside him. To the mortals of Greece, that strength was a blessing. To the gods, it was a threat. Because when divine power is trapped inside a human body, it doesn't just create legends, it creates disasters. And the tragedy of Heracles was never about how many monsters he killed. It was about what happened when the gods finally turned his strength against the people he loved most. From the moment Heracles grew into his strength, violence followed him like a shadow. He didn't seek it, but the world constantly demanded it from him. Cities called for his protection. Kings begged for his aid, and whenever something impossible needed to be destroyed, Heracles was sent in like a living weapon. Lions, giants, warbands, everything fell before him. Each victory made his legend larger, but it also pulled him further away from being human. He was admired, feared, and used, but never truly understood. To the gods, he was not a man with a soul. He was a force of nature, something to be aimed and unleashed. Yet for a brief moment, Heracles tried to escape that life. He married Megara, started a family, and tasted something he had never known before: peace. For the first time, his strength wasn't needed to kill or destroy. It was used to protect, to build, to belong. But peace was never something the gods intended for him. Hera had waited patiently, watching Heracles grow, watching him believe he could live as a man. And when the time was right, she struck, not at his body, but at his mind. The madness came without warning. One moment Heracles stood in his home, the next his vision twisted. Faces warped into threats, shadows turned into enemies. His mind filled with the roar of battle, the same fury that had carried him through countless wars. To Heracles, he wasn't attacking his family, he was defending them. He believed monsters had invaded his home, that his children were in danger, that Megara was screaming for him to save them. And so he did what the world had always taught him to do. He fought. With unstoppable strength and blind conviction, Heracles slaughtered everything in front of him. When the madness faded, it left behind something far worse than rage: clarity. Heracles looked around and saw what he had done. The monsters were gone because they had never existed. The enemies were dead because they had never been enemies. What remained were the broken bodies of the people he loved most. No battlefield had ever prepared him for this. No enemy had ever wounded him this deeply. The strongest man alive collapsed under a weight no amount of muscle could lift. In ancient Greece, madness did not erase guilt. Blood was blood, no matter who spilled it or why. Heracles understood that. He didn't beg for forgiveness. He didn't try to justify his actions. He saw himself as the true monster now, worse than any beast he had ever slain. He considered ending his own life, believing death was the only punishment severe enough. But even in that moment, the gods were not finished with him. Seeking judgment, Heracles turned to the Oracle of Delphi. There, he was given a sentence that would define the rest of his mortal life. He would serve King Eurystheus, a man weaker, crueler, and far less noble than himself. This was not a reward, it was humiliation. Heracles, the greatest hero of Greece, would live as a servant, taking orders from someone unworthy to command him. And the tasks he was given were not meant to bring glory. They were meant to break him. Thus began the 12 labors. Each one was designed to push Heracles beyond pain, beyond fear, and beyond hope. The Nemean lion could not be pierced by weapons, forcing Heracles to strangle it with his bare hands. The Hydra multiplied every time a head was cut off, turning victory into endless struggle. He was sent to capture monsters alive, to clean filth no man should touch, to descend into the underworld and return alive. Every labor was a reminder that no matter how much good he did, the blood of his family could never be washed away. And yet, something changed along the way. Heracles stopped fighting for praise. He stopped fighting for the gods. He fought because suffering was the only thing that made sense anymore. Each monster he defeated was not an enemy. It was a punishment. Each victory was not triumph, it was survival. The world continued to call him a hero, but Heracles no longer believed in that word. To him, heroes were supposed to protect what mattered most, and he had failed at the only battle that truly counted. In the end, Heracles did what no monster ever could. He lived with what he had done. He completed the labors not to earn glory, but because suffering was the only way he knew how to keep moving forward. When death finally came for him, it didn't come on a battlefield. It came slowly, painfully, burning through his body as if the universe itself refused to let him escape his past easily. And only then, after everything had been taken from him, the gods lifted him to Olympus and called him immortal. But immortality did not erase the truth. The Greeks never remembered Heracles as a perfect hero. They remembered him as a warning. That strength without control is not a gift, it is a curse. That even the greatest heroes can become monsters when power is pushed beyond the limits of the human mind. Heracles did not fall because he was weak. He fell because the gods gave him more power than any man was ever meant to carry. And that is why his story still matters. Because the most terrifying monsters in mythology are not born in darkness. They are created when power is unleashed without mercy.